That's Wolverine, with razor-like adamantium claws. They're sharp enough to slice through almost any substance known to man.
Coming up on Crossfire Collectibles, the CT Toys KO Mafex 138 6-inch Wolverine brown comic version action figure. Stick around. What's up, and welcome to Crossfire Collectibles. Today's video, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the CT Toys KO Mafex 138 6-inch Wolverine brown comic version action figure. So we've had about a 2-week hiatus, had to take a little break for the holidays, but we're back. We have a ton of stuff lined up to go, and we're going to kick it off with the KO Mafex Wolverine figure. So I heard some good things about this looking around on Reddit, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna check it out. I wanted a good brown suit Wolverine to go with my Hulk figure, and we're gonna go ahead and show that off later in the video. But first, let's go ahead and check this figure out. So this is almost a spot-on version of the Mafex figure. Of course, you don't see a Marvel logo up here. You have the CT right here, 6-inch 138 Wolverine. The rest of it pretty much looks the same almost. Here's the figure in here in the brown and yellow costume, the accessories and extra heads in there. Pretty cool shot of the figure right here. At the top, Wolverine X-Men, you got a Wolverine face and the X. Off to the side, you got Wolverine 138X, Wolverine at the top. The back, here he is in a few poses. Snip! You got some close-ups of the faces. Very, very cool. Some warning stuff down here. Wolverine again on the side, and then at the bottom you have your label, the CT Toys with box. I did pick this up on AliExpress for about 12 bucks. I think the price went up to about 20 cents then. There was a sticker on the front here, but it came like this. I didn't tear anything off, but I'm pretty excited for it. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this open. But first, please subscribe to the channel. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and slice that tape right here on the side. So as I mentioned, I picked it up on AliExpress. Heard a lot of good things about it, like I mentioned. Reddit users had quite some nice words about it. So here he is. He looks pretty good. It looks probably about the same height of a Marvel Legend. You got an extra pair of hands here, pair of claw hands, mask, kind of a grinning face, just a normal straight face, and then a maskless face. Kind of has a growl on it. In the back, you have a stand. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and take out that tier and cover. And show you guys everything without the plastic over it. Of course, we had a hand fall out. And yeah, it looks pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and dump the accessories out and the figure, and we're gonna go everything one by one. All right, so here is the figure and the accessories. First, I think we're gonna go over this little stand here. So I gotta say, this looks kind of cheap. I'm gonna feel around on it. I'm honestly probably expecting this to break, but I'm not gonna give my hopes up. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and assemble it. First, you have your little peg that you're gonna plug into this little retractable part. I don't know what else to say about it. Down here at the claws, you have a little twisty piece you pull off, and then you can go ahead and pop one side in here, the other end right here, and then you can give your figure a grip. You see the arms allow it to bend around, and then you got 4 different spots you can pick on your stand. I'm going to go ahead and just plug this into the back. And I gotta say, don't judge a book by its cover. This stand seems pretty solid, pretty sturdy, flexible where it needs to be, and it didn't break on me. So that's a huge plus. All right, moving on. We're gonna start with the first pair of hands, and these are kind of some open hands. So you can see brown gloves. He's got the 3 silver pieces where his claws would extract from. So very cool. At the bottom, you see the socket for the peg. Next, you have his fisted claw hands. Now these are definitely going on my figure. They look absolutely great. Claws have some length to them, you know, shring, shring, shring. Pretty good detail in it. You see all around the fingers, the knuckles, down to the top of the hand where he has his little pieces where the claws come out from. And again on the bottom, there's your sockets. Now we'll go ahead and move on to his mask. So this is pretty cool. I like how it's just kind of laid back. So if you took the figure set off and wanted to put the maskless head on, you can just pop this around the neck and throw that onto the top so the mask will be hanging from the back. Very, very cool. And then for the maskless head, here it is. So I don't want to say it's cell shaded, but you can definitely see the blue overlapping the black. So that's really nice. It gives it a nice comic look to it. You see he's got the blue in the eyes, especially on the eyebrows, down in the chops. Underneath, you can see the different cone colors. You have white in here, that would be his teeth. There's actually an extra piece, so that's pretty neat. There's the ball socket down at the top of the head. So that's pretty nice. So here you kind of have his little smirk. Got a little bit of teeth showing. He has the mask up. See all white eyes. Big old flat ears. Underneath, you see the ball socket as well. Pretty nice. And then we'll come over to the figure. So first up, we'll look at the head here. So he's got that normal face. I do kind of wish I had like a more snarling look on him, because I want to have him facing a Hulk, so he's got to be like kind of mad. But he's not, and I'll make it work somehow. Anyways, we're going to look the figure over. You can see the detail on the bicep and forearms here. He's got some hair all over him. Looking around, there's a different yellow in the ribs. Nice red belt with the X on the front. So pretty comic accurate. I can't say anything bad about it. The colors look good. Looking around, I do see a couple scuffs, maybe some paint scratches. But overall, not bad at all. Now, I do like this head, but we're going to go ahead and pop it off. And that will expose the ball joint right here. So it has a crook to it. Now, I don't know if it's meant to be like that, but I don't know. Maybe to have his head lean forward a bit. But before we do anything, I want to go ahead and toss the mask around his neck. And then we'll put on the maskless head. See how that looks. And that actually really looks good. I kind of like that. Now, I don't know if I want to have him facing Hulk like this. I mean, this is the face I would normally go for, but I want his mask up. I really do. So we're going to take that back off, get rid of that, and then we're going to give him this smirk look, just like, yeah, okay, try me, bub. But let's check out the figure's articulation. So as you see, that head is on that small ball joint peg. Can rotate a full 360. Head can go down, up a bit, and not really side to side. Ball joint popped out. Little range of motion in the neck, so it can come down, and it can move back as well. A little side to side. Pretty tight, but it works. Let's see how I can do it something like this. Over at the shoulders, he's got these gigantic butterfly joints. Arms can rotate a full 360. The hinge can allow the arms to come out that far to the side. Really nice. Bicep rotation. Double jointed elbows. Down at the wrist, you have that swivel peg in here, so the hand can rotate a full 360. Here you have the fully clenched hands, which we are not going to use. We're going to go ahead and pop these off. There you can see kind of that ball peg in there. Very nice. Now we'll bring in claw hand number 1, and we will slide that up in there just like that. And we'll come over to the left hand, pop that one off. Well, before we do, let's go ahead and show one of the open hands on it, just to for the fairness of the video. He could be like, yeah, come on, you know. But don't want to use them. Definitely going with the claw look. So we'll go ahead and pop that on. Right there. Nice and snug, not loose at all. Feels pretty good. So I'm happy with it so far. Now down at the torso. Here at the mid-torso you have this swivel. Doesn't look like any crunch in there. And then he's got some waist swivel right here. Down to hips. Looking up inside, he's got a drop leg. He also has that ball joint on the inside. The legs come out to the side about that far. Go back about that far. Whoop. Don't really want to go forward too much about that far. So, not the greatest of articulation up here in these thighs. But we'll move down. He's got double jointed knees. He's got a calf swivel. So right here at the top of these very comic accurate looking boots. They're awesome. You got the brown with the black accents around the edge. Very, very cool. Down at the ankle, another ball peg. So you can pretty much rotate this foot all the way around, up, down, side to side pivot. Very, very cool. And finally, he's got a toe hinge. So always a pleasure when you get to see that toe hinge in a figure. It's very nice. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys right here on the inner right leg. You can see the paint scuffing here, but for 12 bucks, I'm not gonna really complain about that. So now we're gonna go ahead and get him in a pose. So I gotta think, how do I want him facing Hulk? So he's a short dude, you know, comic accurate, 5'3". You see, we want to have him looking up at him. I definitely think I want to have some claws, like kind of coming up, like, come on, bring it. But I don't know what to do quite yet. If we wanted to go with a comic cover, you know, we can have the claws up like that. Of course, they are not a super shiny chrome metallic, so we're not going to get to see any reflection. But we can do something. I mean, if I put him on the stand, maybe I could have him lunge, you know, going at Hulk, something like that. But I don't know yet. I'm gonna figure it out. All right, so there we go. I think that'll do for now. One of the bad things, I noticed he doesn't have any holes in the bottom of his feet, so I couldn't use any stands for him, but he does stand. We may end up having to use that stand, you know, just to hold him in a decent pose. But we're gonna go ahead and bring our Hulk in, so we get a bit of a wider shot. And here is the KO Mafex Wolverine with the Marvel Select Hulk. Now, this is probably one of my favorite Hulk figures that I've ever had. I've gotten rid of a few in the past, but I've always hung on to this one because it really brings out that more 80s look, the Hulk I liked, you know, growing up watching the cartoons. This is not exactly like the cartoon, but it's damn close to it. And he has a great, great size to him. He just looks good. And the size comparison next to Wolverine, I think that would work. You got this giant 8 to 9 foot monster over here next to a little short 5 foot, you know, maybe crops down a little bit, you know, he's like 4'8", 4'9" Wolverine, and I think that's a good size comparison. So we'll have him kind of looking down at him, Wolverine looking up, and there we go. That's kind of the face off I wanted to have. I don't know how I'm going to do a pose for the shelf, but we'll figure something out. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and probably pop our Hulk out of here. We'll go ahead and throw Wolverine up onto the turntable, and we'll give you some final thoughts. Be sure to check out our previous videos. A link will always be pinned in the comments. Alright, so here you have it. The CT Toys KO Mafex 138 6-inch Wolverine brown comic version action figure. Oh man, this figure is absolutely amazing. I'm so glad I pulled the trigger on this figure. So when I was coming across some posts on Reddit, I had to read up on it. I was really considering getting a couple Mafex Wolverines, you know, something to go with my Hulk. I've been looking after something for a long time, and I finally think I found it. So I finally got the brown and yellow costume I wanted in a Mafex style, just in a KO, at a very, very, could not beat it, reasonable price. I mean, I paid 12 bucks. I think the prices went up. I saw one for about 18 earlier. Since then, they've gone to about 21, 22. But still, you can't beat that price. It's pretty much just an exact version of the Mafex figure, and it's great. The accessories, the stand, the figure, all probably except for around those hip joints, but the figure is amazing and I would highly recommend it. Especially if you're a Wolverine collector, you need one for your collection, definitely grab one. It's well worth it. So anyways, I think that's going to do it for this one. We have plenty of videos to come. I hope you all had a safe and happy holidays. And please, if you enjoyed what you saw, like always, leave that giant thumbs up, subscribe, tickle that bell so you're notified when we post future videos. Be sure to follow us on social media, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.
Berserker Barrage!